Welcome to another episode of Your Extraordinary Growth. Today, we are joined by the owner of Galy Vega Virtual Administrative Assistant Services, which supports small law firms and business owners in their administrative, legal, secretary, and paralegal efforts. They tailor their services to fit each client's unique business in an effort to help busy entrepreneurs do and be more. Welcome to the show, Galy.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we were before the show, before we started recording, you said you're from LA. So you focus on law firms, right? Is that correct?
Right. Correct.
Now, why did you choose law firms specifically to focus on?
Well, when I was about maybe 19 or 20, I got actually my first job at a law firm. And my brother-in-law was at the time working at a law firm, and he said, I was like back and forth with, I don't know what I wanted to do. I was kind of fresh out of high school, didn't know what I wanted to do, kind of taking classes here and there for college. And he said, do you want to go work for the law firm? I might be able to get you in. And I said, sure, but what do I have to do? I have no experience. Mm-hmm. So he said, well, there's an opening for, backup receptionist, and you also have to, I forgot what the exact name of it was, but I had to organize the fridge in the law firm and fix the conference rooms. So, and I hated that part of it, but my dad was like, you have to start somewhere. You have to get your foot in the door, and then you scale up from there. So I sucked it up, and I went in there, and I did everything I had to do. I fixed the conference rooms. I gave the attorneys coffee, and then I was a backup receptionist. So every time the secretary would leave, I would cover for her, or if she was in a meeting, I would cover for her. She went on maternity leave, and I was at the reception desk for about 4 months, and I was like, I kind of like this. And then they would start bringing me other projects, and I was like, wow, I really like this. And the marketing director approached me, and she said, you know what, Galy, I need an assistant. I'm going to talk to the firm administrator to see if maybe you could help me out. And I was like, oh my God, that'd be so awesome. I don't want to have to fix coffee for more days. So then I was brought on board as the marketing assistant. And that's kind of how I started getting my experience with, in the legal field. Mm-hmm. And then the administrator kind of would give me small projects here and there. So that's kind of where the administrative experience is coming from. But I was mainly doing the marketing. I learned so much from the director. She taught me everything I know. And then I kind of wanted to do something in the legal field. So I kind of started taking like classes in college for administration, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I would see the attorneys and I'd be like, gosh, they are so cool. And I just admire them so much, but they would all say, do not go to law school. Yeah, they would say, no, don't. It's
now, why would they tell you not to go to law school?
Imagine. And so I was there for about, I think I want to say 4 years. Then I got married when I was 23. And my husband was like, no, I don't want you to work. I want you to, just enjoy, be a stay-at-home wife. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So a year later, we had our first child. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I need to do something with my life. So then that's how I kind of got started with, I'm going to try to do something for myself, like try to create a small business for myself. And the idea came about, but I had no idea where to start. 10 years ago, there wasn't so much online as there is now on how to start your own online business.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so basically you just started networking with obviously your family is in the business. Is your husband in law as well, or is he's completely different?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so how did you go about getting your first client?
Okay. So what I did was, I had been, without any contact with anyone at the law firm at the time for about a year. So then I reached out to the director of the law firm I was working with, and I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I kind of want to see if you need any, because she then started her own business at the time. So I said, if you ever need an assistant, or if you're willing to give me work and I can do it from home, I'd be more than happy to do so. She'd be like, oh, of course. Yeah, let me send you a couple pictures that you can upload to my website. So I started kind of doing that. And then she was like, you know what, Galy, you can do this from home and you can create an actual business from it. And I was like, well, how do I get started? And she said, well, first you want to update your LinkedIn profile. And you don't even need a website yet. Just update your LinkedIn profile and start from there. Start connecting with the attorneys from the law firm. Let them know what you're doing. And that's how I got started. I didn't even have a website at the time. I just had my LinkedIn profile. I didn't have even that much experience. And I remember one person from Orange County. Her name is Sarah Van Dusen. I feel like she kind of got to know me, and it was from there that people just started like referring people to me. It was insane. And so she reached out to me and she said, hey, Galy, I noticed you're in Orange County. I'm looking for an assistant. Or I think it was a colleague of hers. A colleague of mine is looking for an assistant. Would you be interested? And I'm thinking, who sent her? How did she find me? Like, why me out of all the people? And we just hit it off. She sent me, I'm not going to lie, for the first year, she sent me about like 10 clients. And then those clients started sending me projects. And it was kind of like a one-time thing for all of them. But it just went from there. And then I built my website, and I never really had to do any marketing. LinkedIn has always been my primary source of just getting new clients, and of course, word of mouth. But I never thought my business would be what it is today, honestly. Like, it just it happened for me. Like, things just kind of fell into place. It was really, at the time, for me, it was like, I'm never going to get a client. It's never going to happen. Like, why? And you get so frustrated. But once you start getting your clients and people see your ability to work, it just, you can just.
Oh yeah. Word of mouth and reputation is everything there. So let's talk about where is your business today? You want to share like where your revenue is, annual revenue is?
Yeah. Well,
first, how long you been in business?
Well, I've been in business for about 10 years now.
Okay.
For just a little over 10 years, actually. I never thought my business would be what it is today. I started just me, right? So more tasks started coming in and more clients started coming in, and I was like, I can't handle this much work. So then I brought on 2 assistants. And like in any business, it's hard to even find a good team. So I've had my ups and downs of assistants like, oh, you know what? No, this isn't for me. Or no, you know what? I found a full-time job. And at the time, it was really hard for me to keep them because I didn't have that many clients to keep them busy for a whole day. So a lot of them were like, no, I can't do this. And then I would have to end up doing the work of, my clients and then their clients. So it took a lot to finally find. Right now I have 3 assistants, and and they've been with me for about 2 years because, it's just been, but let's see, I started, and when I started, I was like, even if I just make $1,000 a month, I don't even care. I just want to make something. And then I hit the $1,000, and I was like, well, maybe if I make $2,000 a month, that'd be fine. I just want to do something. And then I would get to 2,000, and it would go on and on. And then when I when I hit 7,000 a month, I was like, well, maybe I want to make 10,000. And that's kind of like, you start pushing yourself because you kind of see the way that you can bring in as much money as you want in a business.
Sure.
So right now I wouldn't say it's like a huge, but I make about 120 to 130 a year.
Okay. That's your gross sales, or is that what you're keeping?
What was that?
Is that your gross sales, or is that what you're keeping?
That's my gross sales.
Okay, not bad. Hey, 6-figure business. just
Yeah.
from, helping people
Yeah.
out. That's pretty darn
Yeah.
good. And you have 3 assistants.
Right. And I do it from the comfort of my own home, which is, I get to be a
Yeah.
part of my kid's life. And I also have
Mhm.
my own business, and it's nice.
Mhm.
It's a nice balance.
That's awesome. So, what would you say, once you started getting into that $3,000-4,000 a month, and you were saying, "Wow, there's something to be said here." Um, when you started bringing on the your your other assistants, and obviously everybody's going to have that problem, right? Just good people come in. Some people are, all people come in looking good, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody's at their best behavior during the interview process, and then they get in there and and that's when you actually find out whether they're worth their weight in salt, right?
Right.
So, besides that, because we all have that, regardless of the
Mhm.
business and regardless of the size of the business,
Mhm.
um, what would you say was your biggest challenge beyond that?
I think I think just knowing how to market your business.
Tell
Yeah,
me
I
more.
think just like, how do I approach the clients that I'm that are would be interested in my, because law firms are, I mean, they could have anyone. They can they could just hire anyone they want. So why would they want to
Mm,
hire me? So I think just to get in front of the right person, that was a
mhm,
huge struggle. And I
mhm,
tried, I would get coaches and just watch uh, webinars about marketing, and I'd be like, what? Because there was a time where it's like I felt like I hit a plateau. Like I
mm,
felt like I was like getting all these clients every month, and then it was like crickets. Then I'd be like,
mm,
what am I doing wrong? Or do I have to do something else? Or do I need a marketing plan? Or so I kind of started doing my own marketing, and I would just post. I haven't done it in a while, but I would just post on LinkedIn and connect
mhm,
with people that I would feel could use my
mm,
services and introduce myself. And that really started working for me. Um,
mm,
and now I've been in business for so long, and I have wonderful clients, and they refer clients to me. But there was a time where I was like, I don't know how to market my business. Like, I don't know how
sure.
to get in front of the attorneys and small law firms that could
Mhm,
use a couple hours a week of a paralegal or of a legal
mhm,
secretary when they
right.
could uh, hire someone in house.
Right, that makes sense, that makes sense. So, what do you where do you see taking this business? Are you happy where you're at, or are you looking to grow it to the $20,000 a month mark
You
now that you're at
know,
10?
oh yeah. I sometimes I feel like I'm too hard on myself and too ambitious, but
Mm,
I feel like when I hit when I hit a certain goal, I feel like,
mhm,
okay, now what's next? So
mm,
I do right now I have a 1-year old, so it's kind of hard for me to see past where I'm at right now.
mm,
But of course I want to scale my business. I one of the coaches I have, she had a friend that had a virtual assistant business, and she was at 300K a year. And I
mhm,
was like, okay, if she could do it, I can do it.
sure,
So of course I want to scale my business, and I want to be proud of myself and say I was able to do it.
nice.
So yes, I do want to scale.
Yeah, well, you have an extraordinary story, and you're obviously an extraordinary person, and congratulations on all your success and your continued
Thank
success.
you.
Before we leave this conversation, I would love to hear what you would tell yourself, your prior self 10 years ago with what you know now.
Oh, okay. So I would definitely tell myself to be patient,
Ooh.
and I would tell myself to not. I feel like I used to take on clients even if I didn't like the work, just to have work. And I feel like
Mm,
I would tell myself, like, hey, if you don't like the client and the relationship with the client, that it's okay. Like, you can let them go. Something better will come. And I feel like that was really hard for me. Like, even if I didn't like the work or the environment
mm,
of the work, I would stick around anyways. And
mhm,
I feel like I could tell myself, like, if you don't like it, it's okay. to let it go, or it's okay like to say no to a client. Or I would sometimes they would say like, no, I'll pay you, I don't know, like if my rate back then was $25 an hour, they would say, well, I can pay you 15. And I'd be like, okay. I would tell myself, no, you're not worth $15 an hour. So
You're right. You're
you
worth
learn with
much more than that.
time. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time and appreciate you sharing and peeling back the onion and letting people see, you know, it doesn't take a lot to build a business from home. It just takes tenacity, patience, obviously,
Right.
and definitely remembering our self-worth. So thank you
Yes.
so much, Galy. And for all of
Thank you.
those listening, thanks for joining us today. If you like the show, please make sure that you subscribe and like our show. Give us a good rating. And until next time, stay extraordinary.